before the season. Gosh, Danny. Marino's co-host and former Dolphin Chris Carter added the Fins' offense was awful, which we knew. Number 12 FSU visits NC State for a special Thursday night edition of college football. Tonight, the Seminoles have struggled now on the road with 2 losses and 2 close calls, but are still in the hunt for the ACC title.
They need to win our game so they can be bowl eligible, because if we beat them, they won't. And then, of course, we need to win it to stay in the fighting for the BCS, because last week Miami losing means there's only two teams in our conference that hadn't lost 2 games, and they all play each other. So one of them's definitely going down. And what if the right one beat the right one? We could be right back in the running for the title of the conference.
So, Dan Marino, how do you really feel about everything that's taken place through the first part of the season? That'll do it for sports. Back to you guys.
All right, Joe, thank you.
Did he say the offense was bad? Miami is one of just 6 cities setting the stage for a special cancer fundraiser. The program is called Soul Survival.
Nike shoes designed by young cancer survivors are now on sale here. Proceeds going to help other young cancer patients. These freestyle, one-of-a-kind athletic shoes reflect the kids' brave and positive outlook, giving them the ability to help others.
The shoes sell between $35 and $70 in youth and adult sizes. Nike hopes to raise about $100,000 for cancer research and treatment.
Nice-looking shoes. And could a device that looks scary actually make your skin look younger?
It is the newest way women are trying to roll the years off from their face and other parts of the body. Tonight at 11, can this roller smooth out wrinkles, stretch marks, acne, and more?
Diana Gonzalez shows you how it can roll off the years on the NBC 6 News at 11.
And that is our report for now. We thank you so much for watching.
Stay tuned. Nightly News is next with Tom Brokaw. Then join us at 10 on WB39. Then Jackie and I are right back here after ER at 11 o'clock on NBC 6.
Thank you for making NBC 6 your choice for news. Join Tony Segredo and Jackie Nesprold for NBC 6 News at 11. And for news 24 hours a day, log on to NBC6.net or listen to us on 87.7 FM.
Yasser Arafat. Mourning remembrances for a man seen as both a leader and a terrorist. What does this mean for peace prospects in the Middle East? Fallujah fallout. The U.S. may be winning the fight for Fallujah, but is it winning the much larger war against Iraqi insurgents? Social Security. The president's personal savings account idea. Will it save the system or put it at greater risk? The big fight over Social Security reform. And Brothers in Arms. On Veterans Day, the story of 2 Marines inseparable in life and death.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Yasser Arafat, the Palestinian leader who for so many years seemed to be so indestructible and so much the obstacle to peace in the Middle East, is now returning to that embattled region for the final time for his funeral, burial, and the everlasting question, is there now new hope? The body of the flamboyant and controversial leader of the Palestinian cause is in Cairo tonight, where the funeral will be held before burial in Ramallah and the West Bank. It's been a long and troubled journey. Arafat's life with the Palestinian cause began in earnest when he was 30 in the late 50s. By 1968, he was head of the Palestine Liberation Organization, the PLO, a dedicated militant who was always in uniform. To his followers, he was the shrewd military and political leader of their cause against the Israelis. To the Israelis, Arafat was the chief terrorist. But he was indestructible and a force to be reckoned with. And so it came to pass he stood on the south lawn of the White House, recognizing Israel and shaking hands with Itzhak Rabin, an old adversary. Rabin, Shimon Peres, and Arafat shared the 1994 Nobel Peace Prize. But for Arafat, no peace plan would ever be good enough. The last decade of his life was marked by dozens of Palestinian suicide bombings and dozens of fights with the Israeli army. On Saturday, Arafat will be buried in his Ramallah compound. It is on Palestinian territory in the would-be state this Palestinian survivor failed to achieve. And NBC's Brian Williams is in Ramallah tonight. That's Arafat's last headquarters, of course, and as we just said, his final resting place. Brian?
Tom, that's right. And President Bush put out a statement today saying he hopes the future will bring peace now to the Palestinian state. He was one of many heads of state to put out such a statement today. Of course, nowhere was the reaction to Arafat's death as strong as it was right here. The people in his small town of Ramallah first learned they had lost their leader when at dawn they heard the Muslim call to prayer mixed with church bells. The end came at 3:30 in the morning in a Paris hospital. With all his other organs shut down, Arafat's steady heartbeat, which doctors had described as a miracle, finally stopped. The French government moved immediately to pay tribute, military honors led by President Chirac, who comforted Arafat's widow, Suha. Arafat's body made the journey to a nighttime arrival in his birthplace, Cairo. His lieutenants called an emergency meeting. The patriarch's chair sat empty. They picked a longtime Arafat associate, Mahmoud Abbas, to run the PLO wing of the organization. That job is considered the heir apparent to take over for Arafat. Just yards from where they met, a backhoe dug a grave. The reaction to his death took on as many forms as this region's varied populations. The guns fired into the air, representing the continuing struggle. Burning tires in the streets, a visible, pungent reminder of the Intifada. In Israel, a prediction that this is a turning point from Shimon Peres, who shared the Nobel Peace Prize with Arafat.
I'm finally very optimistic, but I'm not blind. I know that they are going to have tough times and tough issues.
Free candy for all. Arafat is dead. Mazel tov.
And the more militant Israeli view came from this vehemently anti-Palestinian Israeli settler.
It's like Hitler would die. It's the same thing, or Bin Laden. Thank God.
And tonight on the streets of Ramallah, just outside the old Arafat compound, it became a living, teeming memorial. Posters and candles everywhere. Families with children allowed to stay up late to be able to someday say they were here. Tonight, Palestinians are trying to stay joined together. You're looking at a live picture from Ramallah tonight, and this is an eerie scene. Those are gravediggers and stonemasons. They will now work through the night. This is just behind the Arafat compound, just behind our location here. That will become his grave, his tomb, and this will become a sacred site now, a shrine for Palestinians going on decades into the future. Services begin in Cairo tomorrow morning, and then burial is here in Ramallah, sunset on what happens to be the last night of Ramadan. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC's Brian Williams, who's been working around the clock in that part of the world. There are many pressing questions about what happens in the post-Arafat era. One of the most immediate, of course, is the militia that have been loyal to Arafat. Will they now put down their weapons or rise to fight even harder? NBC's Martin Fletcher tonight on a tense situation.
Israel is imposing a total closure on the West Bank, setting up new roadblocks to prevent masses of Palestinians from streaming to Ramallah for Yasser Arafat's funeral. But already small clashes. Here, college students heading for Arafat's compound, running into tear gas and rubber bullets. They were supporting the men who hold the key to war and peace among the Palestinians. Thousands of gunmen in a dozen militias in the West Bank and Gaza. One of the most feared militias, the Al-Aqsa Brigades, are loyal to Yasser Arafat. He reportedly paid and sheltered them. They killed hundreds of Israelis in suicide bomb attacks and drive-by shootings. Now the pressure is on Arafat's successors to take control of the militias.
The top leader's first priority is law and order, and they've already ordered the gunmen to put away their weapons.
But will they? To find out, NBC News tracked down 2 Al-Aqsa gunmen in the West Bank on the run from Israeli undercover units. We asked them if they'd obey the new leaders.
Of course not. As long as Israeli settlers and soldiers have guns, we will never give up our weapons.
But the bigger problem may be in Gaza. The Islamic militants Hamas, which controls most gunmen in Gaza, is now demanding a share of power.
We do not want civil war, but in Gaza, Hamas are the strongest, and they may fight. We have to be clever, act slowly, If we are smart, we can avoid civil war.